Albert Gonzalez wants the world.
Ladies' Pharmacy's open.
And everything in it.
He was a nerd that could also be the coolest guy in the room.
When he hacks the matrix of global finance, it's suddenly one click away.
He's joking about how I have too much cash here. I just broke my machine, and now I have to count by hand $340,000 out of 20s.
But his appetite for excess will lead to more desperate measures.
I mean, at what point do you stop? Is there enough?
And much deadlier risks.
Calling it Operation Get Rich or Die Trump.
New York, New York. If you can make it there, you'll make it anywhere. In the city that never sleeps.
Boys, we are in for it tonight.
25-year-old computer whiz Albert Gonzalez has risen to the top of the heap.
Hey, Rick, can I talk to you for a sec? Hey, everyone, can I get your attention? Drinks on Albert tonight.
He and his friends have just arrived in New York from Miami via private jet.
Here's to maxing out our credit cards tonight.
He was traveling with tens of thousands of dollars of cash at a time. He would charter jets just to fly to New York or LA to party with his friends.
Steven, this is the life.
25!
Going all night.
For Albert, nothing exceeds like excess.
Ladies' Pharmacy's open. Please, take your pick.
Cocaine, Special K, and bags of weed. Whatever his friends desire, Albert provides.
So what is it you do?
Computers.
Must be pretty smart, huh?
There's just somewhat of a trick to it.
He was living like a guy that was bringing in millions of dollars of cash.
How do I look?
Like a genius.
And was, more than willing to spend it.
What the throng of hangers-on don't know is that Albert Gonzalez worked his way from the ground up. He knew nothing about drugs, booze, and gold diggers growing up. In fact, the only digging he did was for his father's landscaping company.
Son, let's just keep it. Let's not do it too low here. Let's keep it here, trim the little bushes.
Okay, so just the top?
Just the top, yeah, and then everything.
Albert grew up in a very blue-collar, very Cuban neighborhood in South Miami.
Albert's dad, an immigrant who fled Cuba on a homemade raft, teaches Albert the value of $1 and that you have to work for what you want.
Thanks, Dad.
And what Albert wants most in the world is a computer.
He actually bought himself his first computer. He saved up money. No one in his family understood what he was doing. Right away showed this gift for the technology.
Over the next 2 years, Albert's grades plummet as he spends all his free time navigating the brave new world of the internet.
Albert, come down here.
Hacking his way past firewalls into some of the most secure domains in cyberspace. Traveling much further than any 14-year-old should go.
How you doing? Yeah, may I help you?
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yeah?
does your son own a computer?
Yes, my son has a computer.
We'd like to speak with him, please.
What this is all about?
We have information he's recently gained access to a secure NASA website.
NASA?
Yes, sir.
Can we speak with him?
Sure. Albert, come down here.
Yeah, Dad?
These people want to talk to you. I want to know what this is all about.
Albert, we have information you've been on a NASA website recently.
He didn't steal any data, didn't really do anything harmful, but just demonstrated that he could get in.
I didn't take any information. I just got on to see if I could get on, and I did.
That's hacking, and that is illegal.
This sounds pretty serious, man. Just sitting there, over there. And we talk later. Then about to get out.
The FBI scare is enough to keep Albert on the straight and narrow. At least for a while.
He actually managed to go the next 5 years without any other major trouble. After he graduated high school, he ended up getting a job in New York with a .com startup.
But the world of 9-to-5 suits doesn't suit Albert Gonzalez at all.
The reality of dealing with corporate customers is there are a lot of parts of that suck. There's things like writing long reports and dealing with people and being nice to people you don't like.
He starts to get restless, and he begins to sniff around the endless opportunities that abound online, both above board and below.
He had found a new underground world of hackers on the web called Shadow Crew.
They were online websites that were dedicated to facilitating the theft of stolen financial information.
By hacking into bank accounts and credit card databases, Shadow Crew turns the internet into its own virtual ATM.
Most hackers are not going to rob a bank. They're not going to hold up a gas station. That's a kind of risk that they're not willing to take. But if you can hack into a system, 6,000 miles away in another jurisdiction, another country, you can start to think that you're untouchable.
Albert Gonzalez sees his future written in the code, and it says, "The world is yours for the taking." And in a matter of weeks, Albert Gonzalez isn't just a member of Shadow Crew.
Updates, please. What do we have?
He's one of its leaders.
I'm grabbing the account numbers from the department stores right now.
Great. What do you got?
Yeah, right over here.
Albert was a good technical manager.
I got a savings and loans in New York. A couple more strokes, we'll have a couple $100 grand.
What?
Yeah.
Being able to do project management and coordinate people across time zones and speaking different languages and with different skill sets in different countries, all to attack one target, is actually quite a feat.
Boys, let's say you guys earned a night out in the town. Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
And what does a guy in his 20s do with all that free-flowing cash?
Bar's open.
Albert was a prototypical computer nerd, but he was a nerd that could also live it up in a nightclub and be the coolest guy in the room, too. He was bouncing from luxury hotel to luxury hotel, from Miami to New York to LA, really spending money pretty wildly on parties, on nights out, on drugs. He bought himself a brand new BMW. He was spending tens of thousands of dollars a week.
But Albert is about to go back to the same well one too many times.
In 2003, there was an undercover detective who notices that here's this person who comes into this ATM and places a card in the ATM and takes out some money, and then pulls out another card and takes out more money, and yet another card and takes out more money.
That person is Albert Gonzalez. He's taken stolen debit card numbers and embossed them onto blank cards. Albert's arrested on the spot.
I'm Agent Williams with the Secret Service. This is Kim Peretti, the U.S. Justice Department.
I guess you want to know how we got all those account numbers.
Yes.
When the Secret Service question Albert, they quickly realize this guy knows way more than they do about cyber hacking.
Gotta tell you, it was easy.
The Secret Service was stunned when he sort of laid out for them what exactly it was that he was doing.
What's carding?
Hack into a computer, steal social security number, identification, credit card information. Really, whatever it is, you name it, we get it. Sell it to the highest bidder.
It's sort of like pulling a loose string, and you pull a little more and a little more and a little more, and suddenly, as you know, information is trickling out from Albert, they're starting to see this whole huge underground world that they had no idea existed.
Shadow Crew. We're a worldwide outfit.
How many people we're talking here?
Thousands.
You got names?
Come on, I'm not gonna do that. What are you gonna give me in exchange?
It's your lucky day.
They offer him a deal.
Read it over.
Instead of going to jail, Albert can become a key informant for Operation Firewall,
No prison time.
That's right.
a federal cybercrime task force hell-bent on taking hackers down.
Look, your crew is going down. You can go down with them or you can get out. It's your call.
He understood our interest in bringing down the organization, and he seemed well-intentioned to help us do that.
Let's catch us some hackers.
Welcome aboard.
So we can see where he's gonna send this information.
So what are we looking at right now?
In exchange for his freedom
Minnesota Bank. He is not in Minnesota.
and a yearly salary of $75,000, Albert changes his stripes from criminal
So what I'm doing is hacking the hackers right now.
to crime fighter.
This goes live right now. So what I'm telling you right now is if you follow this trail, you'll definitely get him.
What trail?
What are you, blind? It's right here in the code.
Wait, are you talking about this coat? Like over here?
Oh my God. Yeah, I know this guy.
Albert's star rises, this time on the right side of the law.
This is Alpha 07. I used to work with him. Shadow.
We were able to bring a benchmark prosecution of 19 individuals that were running the Shadow Crew website. And those types of prosecutions are not easy because it hasn't been done before.
This is amazing.
This is exactly what the agency.
It might be amazing for the feds, but for Albert, a salary of 75 big ones
Chief, here's where I'm at.
isn't big enough to fuel the life of unbridled debauchery he could once afford.
Sure, not a problem. All right, Chief.
After hours, the government cyber sleuth starts pursuing opportunities in the private sector. 21-year-old Albert Gonzalez has gone from head of a hacking syndicate to a highly valued Secret Service informant.
He was respectful, he was easy to work with, he was willing to cooperate.
But while his superiors get tough on cybercrime, Albert is up to his old tricks.
Guys, here's the deal. Two of the best and brightest hackers I know. That being said, I want to offer you a new opportunity.
At the same time he's snitching on his former crime partners, he's recruiting new ones for a bigger, much more profitable credit card scam.
Calling it Operation Get Rich or Die Trying.
It's a scheme of global proportions involving seedy characters from the Ukrainian underworld.
Ukraine became known as a real haven for these online criminals, in large part because the government was so corrupt that they could buy their way to safety.
Through an online connection, he meets crime lord Maxim Yastremsky.
Алло. Ничего. Так, кто это? Американцы. Хорошо.
And proposes a deal.
Albert, my friend, do you have something for me?
He'll supply Maxime with stolen credit card information from the US, and Maxime will sell them all across Europe for $300 a pop. Albert will pocket half in cash via courier.
You know I'm not small-time Russian crook.
But Maxime requires volume.
You give me hundreds of numbers and I will buy. Da, we will talk soon.
And Albert has a plan for that, a highly sophisticated program called a sniffer code.
Sniffer is a program that will watch data as it's being transmitted across the network and record it.
Which means that if someone is shopping, by the time the merchandise hits the bag, Albert and his crew have already captured all of the credit card information they need. Albert puts his group's most talented code writer, Stephen Watt, on the sniffer program.
This isn't a joke. I'm working for some very dangerous people right now.
Just calm down, man. Just give me some time, all right?
And it only takes him a few hours to write one of the most powerful sniffer codes the hacking world has ever seen.
It was sort of the holy grail of identity theft, of credit card theft. They ended up getting more than 100 million credit card numbers from this.
You're a genius.
By late 2005, courier boxes from Eastern Europe stuffed with money arrive at Albert's doorstep on a regular basis.
He's joking about how I have too much cash here. I just broke my machine, and now I have to count by hand $340,000 out of 20s.
Operation Get Rich or Die Tryin' is officially a success. And it shows no signs of slowing down.
And I mean, at what point do you stop? Is there enough? You know, do you have a number that you can, in fact, stop hacking and just be done and retire? I think for a lot of hackers, the answer is no.
But the party is about to end. Because the feds have been monitoring Albert's Ukrainian partner. In July of 2007, Maxim Yastremski is busted in a Turkish nightclub.
US agents waited till he went to the club one night and broke into his room and stole his laptop. Then cloned all the data off his laptop, put it back in his room, and that was the key to everything.
The agents find a treasure trove of information, and one handle comes up over and over again.
He seems to be the person kind of controlling everything here. Goes by the handle Soup Nazi.
Soup Nazi is a character from a popular TV show and a frequently used moniker for someone else.
Do you know this guy?
Albert went under a couple names.
He played us.
His most famous was Soup Nazi.
She knows she's been had.
Son of a bitch. There was two reactions. There was an element of anger, an element of disappointment.
How much time do we have?
How are you doing?
Albert has no idea that the feds have all the evidence they need to take him down.
I think it's room service.
In May of 2008,
Albert Gonzalez, you're under arrest.
federal agents storm a luxury suite of a hotel in South Beach, Miami.
He didn't resist the arrest, but they found him with more than $20,000 in cash. He had a handgun in the room. He had piles of laptops that he had been working on.
During police interrogation, Albert even reveals the site where he buried over $1 million in his parents' backyard. Albert Gonzalez and 11 members of his gang, including Stephen Watt, are indicted and charged in the largest cyber hacking case in U.S. history.
In some cases, the victims here had experienced over $100 million in financial loss to their corporate entities.
Albert is sentenced to 20 years in prison. It's a small price to pay for the millions he stole from ordinary citizens. To safeguard the public from the renegade hacker, the judge also denies Albert all computer privileges.
The reality of today's risks is that the Secret Service and FBI are good at what they do. And they're easy to underestimate, but they do successfully prosecute a lot of computer hackers every year. A lot of these hackers thought they were invulnerable and could never get caught, and then did get caught.